Hey, I'm Podcast Nate, and I'm inviting you to join the podcast revolution. I took my first podcast, The Sobriety Diaries, from launch to the top 3% globally in the first 90 days, and I've created a simple framework to help you achieve the same. Whether you're an entrepreneur looking for an additional stream of revenue or a creator expanding your platform, let's revolutionize your world one episode at a time. Welcome back to the podcast revolution, entrepreneurs. Today is such a fun episode. I'm excited to introduce to you a few of my new friends. We are chatting with two individuals from HBG Solo about the entrepreneurship journey, some unexpected questions perhaps that come along with entrepreneurship, and of course, comprehensive health coverage through HBG Solo, which is one thing I didn't consider as a baby entrepreneur, but we'll get into all of that. Please welcome Kylie Morrisey, Director of Marketing, and Michael Bowen, Customer Support Lead from HBG Solo. Welcome, friends. Good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us.
We look forward to it.
Yes, I'm excited to selfishly take your advice as I, continue on this journey and things come up and questions arise. And, my team is asking me questions and it's like, well, I don't know yet, but let me ask Kylie. She may have the answer for you.
Do you have the answers I ain't got?
Why don't we start sort of with your own journeys with the company and how it has gotten us to this point today that you are sort of utilizing influencer marketing to tap into this sort of new wave of digital entrepreneurs. I think that's huge. So Kylie, why don't we start with your journey with HBG, which I know is a little personal for you, but
it is a little bit personal. So I joined HBG in 2017 in January. So right at the start of the year. At that point, we were doing more of employer-sponsored healthcare products and wellness programs. So the influencer journey is new to us right now. We are now pivoting to being in the individual market. So really trying to get the word out. And that's where a lot of my marketing efforts are being used. And I'm so happy that we were able to connect. The reason we say it's personal is because my dad founded the company in 2012. So a few years later, after I graduated college, I joined on in.
Has your dad been sort of on the health side or HR side through your upbringing? Were you interested in sort of working together at any point in your life?
So I was not interested. Like during college, I went to FIT, actually the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York, and I got a business degree there and kind of, was trying things out and wasn't really loving my internships within the fashion industry and kind of just fell into it. And it's been going very well. And I'm very lucky that working with my family does go well because it can be a dicey situation for many.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been here since 2017 and all is well. My dad, while I was growing up, was working at Cigna Healthcare, which is one of the largest carriers in the US. And he was there for almost 25 years. So grew up just looking at him going into the city for work. We grew up on Long Island and I watched him start his business in 2012 as a senior in high school. And it was very inspiring. And I admired his perseverance through getting all of that started. And now it's fun to say I'm here today, 11 years later, as his marketing director. So
yeah.
Cool.
Now, did a part of the inspiration for HBG and this focus on ultra small business or entrepreneurs come from his own entrepreneurial journey?
Yes, I think so. And then it also really came out of the pandemic because we were working with small to mid-sized companies who unfortunately were having to furlough employees, and we were seeing our eligibility files come back with a lot less people being eligible for our wellness perks. And I think a light bulb just went off in a lot of our heads saying, okay, these people are losing a lot more than their gym benefit. They're losing their health care as well. So we started to make progress on a product that we call Healthy by HBG that is still available. And it's kind of just blossomed into HBG Solo based on the connections that we made while launching Healthy by HBG. So it's kind of turned into its own little world now. It's Michael and I's like main focus to get people on HBG Solo and, you know, thinking of their options to better manage their expenses, because it's something a lot of people, it holds back a lot of people, I should say, from starting their
It does. It really does. And I think at a time that health coverage can be tied to so many things, it's tied politically, it's tied to, you know, overall compensation packages when you're considering an offer. It is sort of a hot button.
This guy has a hot button, a point of interest.
So I think it is really smart to focus on those who, you know, it affects the most and their dependents.
Yeah, and it's so confusing when you're starting your own business and you don't know where to go except for the state exchange. And now we're hoping to educate people on there's more out there that's usually more affordable.
Michael, speak up, my friend. Come on. This
Hi.
Is not just kidding. Michael, tell us about your journey with HBG and how you and Kylie sort of partnered for this phase of your time at the company.
Well, it's funny because I have never worked in health insurance, but I've worked in the health and fitness industry for 9 years. And that's actually where I met Kylie. I met Kylie at a company that we used to work with together. So I've known Kylie since like, I don't know, 2015, maybe, her and her dad. And then I was just in a transitioning phase and Kylie had reached out to me and they were looking for someone as they were growing their company. And I was like, oh, I can help you find someone. And then in my head, I was like, wait, I'm transitioning. I kind of want to help you. I love your family.
Yes.
So like, why wouldn't I want to do this?
It's me.
And customer success, support, whatever you might label it, client success is something that I'm passionate about. So this is a new area for me. It's been very interesting to learn the intricacies of health insurance and health coverage. But it's been rewarding and you're really helping people, you know, kind of get into their own space, especially entrepreneurs, where they can finally utilize or actually go into their passion projects versus staying with like large organizations. But yeah, that's how that link started. And here we are.
I love it. It really is, you know, what is the saying that preparedness plus opportunity equals what, you know, I'm killing the phrase here, but you understand what I'm trying to say. You were ready, you were prepared, and the opportunity was there. I love it.
Yeah, and I was always that person. Yeah, exactly. I was always that person who went to my mom for these things because she was so privy to the healthcare industry. She just knew exactly what she was talking about. And now she comes to me for questions, and I love that.
I love it. The tables have turned.
Yes.
So I did want to sort of carve out some time of our conversation to walk through the process, and we can use myself as kind of a use case scenario in that, you know, I need to enroll or have, you know, a little more insight into coverage for myself as a baby entrepreneur. So what does it look like? Where can we direct people? And how does one sort of jumpstart the process?
So we want to make this easy as possible for people, which never said with getting health coverage. So I'm happy to say that we're making it easy. So
Great.
For entrepreneurs, they can go online to hbgsolo.com. The quoting process takes about 2 minutes. You fill out we don't really need that much personal information just to get your rate. So you need your birthday, zip code, any information about your dependent. So spouse's age, and then the amount of children, if you have any. And our website will then pop up with 3 different rates for our 3 different deductible options. And you can kind of compare the out-of-pocket cost and decide which one is right for you. Then once you select your plan, you'll go through a health questionnaire, and answer the questions honestly, and then we will begin the enrollment process. And Michael's team is there every step of the way. So if you're doing something online and you have a question, you can text or call. There's an option to schedule a call if you want to do a Zoom. We're always available and ready to help.
You can chat bot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's helpful. I love a good chatbot. Hey, want to start a podcast? Spotify has a platform that allows you to create one so easily you won't believe it. And the best part, it's totally free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters allows you to record, edit, and distribute your episodes right from your phone or computer. You can also add songs from Spotify's library, edit with cool transitions, and then hear your show on all the big networks, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and more. You can also earn money through ads and subscriptions. And once again, for those in the back, it's completely free with no catch. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started today. I did notice some FAQs on your website, which is super helpful. And I would imagine that those get updated if you start to recognize trends or, questions that pop up regularly. Let's talk about maybe some FAQs or maybe an evolution of the process as you garner more feedback from clients or potential entrepreneurs.
Yes, I can speak to the website evolution because we're always changing that based on feedback. And then Michael, I think you can speak after about the questions that you're asked most from customers, but we're always changing our website and the FAQs to reflect the feedback that we get from our members. One piece of feedback that we've gotten was that someone sees an ad on Facebook or Instagram or sees a TikTok and says, oh, this looks really cool. I want to get my rate, but they're not ready to enroll. So we have a new feature on the website that allows you to hold your rate. So you'll put in your information, it'll email the rate back to you, connect you with the support team. We don't start spam emailing. This is just so you have your number and your rate for when you are ready to enroll. And then you can easily just, go back through the process, or you can respond to that email and Michael or one of his team members will respond and say, okay, let's get you enrolled. These are the rates that you were quoted and we're good to go. So we've done that. Another piece of feedback was that people wanted to be able to book time with Michael and his team directly online with Zoom. We used to only have a phone number. Now they can schedule time in advance. So we're always, evolving the website and trying to make it a better user experience.
Yeah, and I will say that Zoom is a great way for someone who doesn't really understand the intricacies of health insurance, where I can show them, share my screen, and explain to them in depth. So it's more personal that way, and it feels more genuine. And I'm really there to help them because I know how stressful this can be. So we try to make it as easy as possible.
And Michael and Allie and their team are really good at telling people okay, maybe this isn't a good fit for you. That's more on the products that we sell on the Healthy by HBG side, because we do sell some lower cost healthcare options that, for example, may only cover preventive services. So if you have, some medications that you take or a health condition that you're monitoring, we never want people to be on the wrong plan. So we're very honest in what we think people should sign up for, whether that's one of our plans or getting back on the ACA exchange as well.
Oh, good.
Yeah, there are no stupid questions with healthcare. And please ask any question that you have, because, it could be very, scary or confusing.
Let's talk about growth. As an entrepreneur, I have grandiose plans for the growth of my business. So as, let's say an enrollee or a participant in HBG Solo, what options do I have as my business grows and perhaps my needs for my team grow?
That's an awesome question. And we have, like I said before, we have that Healthy by HBG product as well. And you can purchase tons of different insurance products on that website. So if you have friends that maybe aren't entrepreneurs and don't have EINs that need health coverage, we have options on there. We have life insurance, dental and vision, renter's insurance, home and auto, pet insurance, even insurance to cover your devices. So if you have, your podcast microphone, or if you're a musician and you do a lot of traveling and you want to insure an instrument for loss, theft, or it breaks, you can do that as well. We have tons of different products on that website that can kind of help you through every stage of your entrepreneurship journey.
Michael, I'm sure there's more than one way. Maybe what's the easiest way, or what's the process to find in-network providers?
It's really easy. We utilize the Multiplan PHCS network, which has over 1.2 million providers and facilities on the network. So what you would do is you could follow the instructions that are provided to you if you do sign up for the plan. Otherwise, you can utilize the concierge service that comes with the plan as well, and you can contact them and ask them to help you find in-network doctors, as well as get some pre-screenings on any sort of medical examination. Or you can reach out to me and my team at support at Healthy Business Group, and we can help you find in-network doctors. We're really there kind of every step of the way, and we really know a majority of our members by name, not necessarily by face, but by name, and we do work very closely with people.
As an entrepreneur, you want to partner with other organizations that, have the same standards as you and have the same commitment to clients, customers, partners, and that value those relationships. And it's part of the reason that I asked about the growth and what the options are, when it's not just me eventually, and partnering with someone that I, would want to stick with long-term is important. So I think that selfishly was why I asked that question, but I think it's important for most entrepreneurs.
Well, Nate, that's great. And I agree with you. And we really make every individual feel like they are our only client. And it's really important to us to make them feel that way during something like, health insurance or health coverage, which could be, again, confusing, but we're there every step of the way.
So Kylie, you mentioned the quote process at hbgsolo.com. Can they reserve that quote for a period of time? Are we locking in rates? What does the increase look like, or what can we expect long-term as far as premiums go?
So right now, we don't believe in open enrollment.
As an HR professional, that is music to my ears.
I know,
worst
people
month
love
of
it.
my life every year, but yes, glad to hear that.
Our plans are also month to month, so you're not locking in for a year. So if for whatever reason you think that it's not a good fit, we haven't had that happen yet, but people change their minds, they change their doctors, whatever it might be, you can always cancel your plan because it's month to month. But right now, from now until December 31st, you can lock in your rate and it will be guaranteed until January 1st, 2025.
Great.
But also, solo members can expect to avoid large rate increases that happen with other plans, because we are, like, the HBG Solo population is very healthy and they are maintaining their health. I'll actually pivot over to Michael. Michael, do you want to let Nate know the details on the deductible extension as well?
Yes, we heard from the carrier about 2 weeks ago that anyone who joined from November 1st and onward, their deductible will be carried into 2024, so it won't restart. So essentially the deductibles with the three major plans work on a calendar year basis. So it would restart Jan 1 and you would start over. So this year it's extended and they're going to, bring it into 2024.
It's great news. Love to hear it.
Yeah.
Same.
In anticipation of our chat today, I posted on my stories for other entrepreneurs that perhaps have questions or that perhaps could be interested in HBG Solo. And I have a few listener questions that I want to run past you guys. Are you game for that?
Yes, we are.
Totally game.
All right. There are wrong answers, so beware. Today's episode of the Podcast Revolution is brought to you in part by StreamYard. StreamYard has everything you need to create a branded experience with your content. Logos, brand colors, music, overlays, cool transitions, and more. Say goodbye to willy-nilly Wi-Fi connections. StreamYard uses live local recordings, so no matter what kind of connection you or your guest has, you're getting studio quality audio and video for your podcast recording. Click the link in today's show notes for $10 off any package when you subscribe to StreamYard today. Okay, so my friend Lisa from Michigan asked, can I add, we kind of already covered this, but I want to give Lisa her moment in the spotlight. Can I add my dependents, or is it only available to the business owner? And can I expect my rates to change? We just touched on the rates, but let's dial in a little bit more on dependents and family members of the entrepreneur.
Yes, Lisa, great question. Here's your spotlight moment. But you can absolutely add your dependents. When you are going to enroll, you would just include their information in the quoting process and then sign up from there. It's very simple. And then again, if you have any questions, just reach out to us, chatbot us, text us, call us, however you want, or whatever feels most comfortable to you. We will be there for you. But you can do so on the website. You just get a quote at hbgsolo.com. So very simple.
Do you know how far back the medical history goes? Are we looking for sort of medical events, high premium prescriptions, or is it kind of like a snapshot of overall health?
I believe it's 5 years. And we are looking at certain medications that people are on that are very expensive. So that's really how we're keeping the plan down in cost. But that questionnaire is really a way for us to consult with the member and see if there's a better option for them, or see if solo is a good option. Maybe, you haven't taken this medication in 4 years and you don't expect to have it again. We can always go back to the carrier and see what we can do. We try to be as flexible as we can. And again, we never want people to enroll on a plan that's not right for them. So if this isn't a good fit, we might have a better plan available for that individual.
Perfect. Okay, next is Nicole in Nevada. I don't know Nicole, but here's your moment, girl. Appreciate the question. Are there any free resources that I can utilize to calculate the benefit for my specific situation or business? So, again, we kind of touched on the premium and the quoting process. I think maybe we answered her question. Is there anything else that you think you can add to help Nicole out, free resource-wise?
Yeah, so once you're enrolled in the plan, you'll utilize our concierge service as well for no additional charge. But you get all of that guidance with Michael's team, also free of charge. So if you just need to call in and ask your questions, and it's no strings attached. If you don't enroll, we're not going to come knocking down on your door saying, why aren't you enrolling? And, sending a million emails. So it's really no strings attached and always free of charge to talk.
Great.
It's a common question we get too. And,
I bet.
It's very simple. Don't worry.
Okay, Holly from South Carolina. In full transparency, this is my mom. But I thought that we could also highlight her. I was going to have her pop in on the Zoom call, but I don't think she's awake yet. But so my mom asks, what can I expect to pay at doctor's appointments with HBG Solo? But let's expand upon that. Prescriptions, are there different levels with prescription costs as well?
Yes, Mama Holly, I love that. It's a great question, and it's something that my mom would definitely ask too. So essentially, all preventative care is covered at 100% before and after you meet your deductible, so there would be no payment required. There's no co-insurance, there's no co-payment. what you do is you pay down your deductible, and then from there, all covered services are covered at 100%. So it's very simple. It's very straightforward. The summary of benefits for this plan, or all three of them, are very easy to read versus others that I've always had a little trouble doing so. And then the prescription breakdown, it's a tiered system. So, for example, preventative drugs are covered. There is no copayment for that, so it's free. And then so on up to, I think it's like 6 tiers, maybe 5. But yeah, it's a tiered system, like your traditional health coverage plan.
And then our dental and vision sort of on the preventative sort of maintenance system as well, like the twice a year for dental.
Yeah, dental and vision, we have preventative and comprehensive. So there are 2 different plan designs for that. That will be on our Healthy site where you can view the exclusions and what's included on each one. But yes, for me personally, preventative suits my needs. And, I get my annual cleanings, they do the fluoride treatment, it's fabulous. And the network is Delta Dental, so it's widely known through the nation, and a lot of providers are on that network. So it's great. And then vision, also very simple. On the Get Healthy site, you could see all of the plan exclusions and what it includes. For me, I wear glasses and contacts, so it has been very helpful to have as a resource. So I highly recommend taking a look at those plans.
Michael, the fucking portrait of health over here.
Yeah.
Excuse us.
I try to be, but really I'm just a hot mess. I needed, braces, I need contacts, I've needed everything. So like, I'm really not the portrait of health. I was manufactured by all of those
put together. So Michael, if you weren't this gorgeous, statuesque individual, perhaps there were perhaps you did have a few other medications or procedures that were either upcoming or in your past. I know we talked a little bit about the questionnaire. What purpose does the questionnaire hold for you guys, and how does it really benefit, the potential partner or enrollee into HBG Solo? Because I know it's sort of mutually beneficial.
Yes, it's a great question. And also thank you for constantly telling me that I look like an amazing statue and that I will probably be in the Greek Roman Empire somewhere once.
For sure.
I don't know. But no, it's a great question. It's really there for consultative purposes. So, it should not steer anyone away from, asking us any further questions if they do have to answer yes or no to it. We're there to help you. But on average, typically about 80% of the claims in traditional health coverage or health insurance is caused by 20% of the population. So what we're doing is really just mitigating that from happening to our plans, and it's how we're able to keep the costs low. So, in the new year, when your rate doesn't increase and all of your friends are, adding an additional $100 to their bank a month because they have to pay for more of their health coverage, then you can just smile and wait because that will not be happening to you.
Yeah, I think we've sort of come to expect the sort of deep dive or the questionnaire in understanding who the organization is sort of welcoming onto their plan, and it's almost in protection of the other members, right, in the pool. To make sure that rate can sort of remain locked.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. We want to keep all of our members happy, and you do so by making sure that everyone feels comfortable entering the captive and being part of the pool of healthy people, and we're there to help.
Kylie Morrisey and Michael Bowen from HBG Solo. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. HBG Solo is one option within the organization, correct? And then we have Healthy by HBG. HBGsolo.com is the website for the program that we've been discussing today for businesses of one, for entrepreneurs, correct?
Yes. And then gethealthy.com is the other website where you can find other insurance products. And that's gethealthy with 2 E's, not a Y.com. You can also find us at hbgnow.com.
And the Solo plan is on the Get Healthy website, so it's also there too.
Yeah.
So.
Amazing. And yes, I will link everything in today's show notes, as well as sort of an outline of our conversation, the benefits of HBG Solo. You'll see so much more of our partnership on my social accounts at Podcast Nate. The link is in my bio on all platforms. Kylie and Michael, what a pleasure. Thank you guys so much personally. And I know for my listeners who are over 90% entrepreneurs, so this is a super helpful conversation. It's the right time of year. So thank you for being flexible with our chat.
Yes,
today.
everyone will be getting their renewals soon.
They'll be knocking on your door.
They sure will.
Yeah. But again, if you don't want to make a decision right now and you want to wait until March 1st, we're still there because no open enrollment over here. But we do expect to have a big open enrollment crew happening because nobody wants to have a gap in coverage.
That's right. So get the quote, at least. Go to HBG Solo, get the quote, understand the benefits, prepare yourself as someone who was left with a question mark about health coverage. Thank you so much, my new friends at HBG. What a great conversation, so helpful. And this is not the end of our partnership. Much more to come. Thank you, Kylie. Thank you, Michael. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Nate. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, friends, for downloading today's episode. Stay tuned every Tuesday for new episodes highlighting the hottest equipment, production and editing tips, launching your show, pitching to sponsors, so much more. Everything you need that's involved in launching and monetizing a successful podcast. Subscribe to the Podcast Revolution now so you never miss an upload. Again, every Tuesday. Hit that follow button on Instagram at Podcast Nate to submit your own questions on podcasting and to catch the latest updates on the show. Remember, friends, it's never too late to find your voice and use it. And let's revolutionize your world one episode at a time. Bye for now, friends.